Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of OilTown here in City Skylines 2, where in the far distance is the actual main island of OilTown, and last episode we decided to venture out and actually have a island part of OilTown that's not connected to OilTown, only via a form of transportation. And we built up a cargo harbour and a passenger harbour last episode, which now transports people back and forth. And believe it or not, guys, there's not really much going on this island as of late. We built up last episode. We've got a couple of oil areas set up, which do provide nearly up to 200 people working here. But they're complaining about, at the moment, the lack of labour. We have some transformer stations which bring power over to the island. We have some water lines bringing water over. And we also have some basic facilities just to kind of give this mini island the needs it requires. We've got a medical facility, police station, firehouse. We are going to have to set up garbage, so I have to get that done this episode as well. And also this episode, I want to actually start bringing some people over here to actually live. So we're going to get the first inhabitants of this island moved in today and slowly grow the population of the island a little bit more. So what I'm going to do, guys, is going to be kind of interesting right now. I'm going to actually create this area as a district. So if I just kind of cover the island quite dramatically, as you can now see, la-di-da-di-da, boys, la-di-da-di-da right now. There we go. We now have this whole island as an area. What I want you guys to do in the comment section down below is give me a name suggestion for what we can call this island. Now, technically, it is part of OilTown, okay? It's not a separate area. It's a separate area, like this is called Larson Park, this kind of zoned region as of right now. This is called Larson Park, so it's just an area within OilTown, but it would be nice to have a name for it, and we can refer to this island as its said name. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think we should call it. And also, guys, if you are enjoying the series, smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new, so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, things you want to do then, guys, you want to kind of build up a small little bit of a population on the island. We are going to do a little bit of terraforming because I want to change things up. So I want to push this mountain slightly back so we can kind of have it a little bit flat around here. Not too flat. And then we're going to have it lead round to the corner and build up the island more over on this way as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to initially delete this road there to there. Does that go up a hill? That does. Delete you and delete you. And then we're going to slightly push it back so we have a little bit more room to work with, creating like a central kind of area. And it should work out pretty well for us. So if I go back as far as... We're going to take it further back than I want to, because the smoothing in will then push it forward again. So get rid of all of you, level you off, push this down to there. The smoothing tool will kind of bring it all forward again anyway. Right, just delete you to there. And we're just going to quickly build my road layout as how far I want it to kind of all work. So that pretty much goes all the way down to there. This road cuts into there like that. Let me just delete you. This road here cuts into there, so I'll then delete you. And we'll probably do another road cutting in round about here. And then just delete you. So we've got this kind of like sweet little area to work. I don't know if it's kind of create a road coming off the roundabout. I could do a 4-lane road just to kind of, you know, fall within the theme of what's currently going on. And we'll run this just to there and then delete you. So, that's pretty good. We'll then create... Actually, I will come off these areas slightly. Do you know what? No, I'm not going to come off it too much. We'll allow the buildings to be on the back end of it. So then we're just going to kind of smoothen as much as we can. So shift terrain, make this a bit bigger. That's the wrong button. Damn it, Seniac, that's the wrong button, you fool. It's soften. So soften this so it kind of the hill then comes back down, as you can see, and allow the buildings to build up from it. So gives us a little bit of space there to kind of work with building an area. And then we're going to bend this road round for us as well at the same time. So, let's show it the way we can see the topography. You can kind of see where this area is working. Bring you in like this. And I reckon we go a little bit further up again. And then I'm going to do a kind of like a sweet little bend. So if I did maybe a bit bigger, actually go a bit further than that, we're going to have to push this area back a little bit as well. So level the terrain, push this back a bit. And then we're going to bring you up to just there. I'm going to create a nice little bend. So 128 by 128. And then just lead it down to there. So nice little organized little kind of setup. Soften the area a bit more. That works perfectly fine. And then you can kind of then see how public transport is going to have a back and forth bus line. That's going to be, I mean, I don't know whether I'll do a subway line on this. That could be kind of wild. But it leads to there, and then we'll sprawl roads all off in that area. So I think first thing we'll do is work with a little bit of commercial. So I'm going to do some high density commercial for this natural area. So we're going to bulk it up there and bulk it up here, because this will be the big shopping areas, because this is where the most amount of people are going to pretty much be. So build it all in. There's going to be literally no traffic on here, so I haven't got to worry about building up around the roundabouts and stuff like that and kind of overpopulating the area. I've got no worries of that at all. So build it all up there to here. And we might do some... No, I don't have to do offices on this island. We'll keep it like that. I can do some mixed zoning. We'll do some low rent housing just going here. Here and then just on the corner there. I'll do some medium density being able to be squeezed in just here. And then we'll bulk up medium density on the back end. Now that's a lot to throw in. And accept it that it needs to now build for us. Also, that a bit of the snow is now melting as well. But that's where the majority of the high-rise stuff is going to be. We might throw a little bit over there, but it'll be kind of like low density over in that vicinity. And we have like little areas here we can kind of maybe like stick out slightly. So I could bring a road just coming off here to say there. Throw a cul-de-sac on it. And we'll go for quite a large one. And then you could do like, we could zone the low density with the beachfront houses. And then what we'll end up doing is just kind of like bulking the terraining out a little bit. And then smoothing it from the bottom. As it's all built upon these little edges. Same thing for over here as well. Now we can't do too much in this area because of how it's naturally hitting the waterways. But it all works out for us. Now this is going to send this island slightly over the edge now because people can only arrive by entering the region via boat or plane and then get into the harbour itself to then get on a boat because we only have direct connections to this area via that. So that's literally how this technically works. So now we have... well, we're going to have people moving here. We then need other services that we do not technically have right now. We need garbage, we need death care. We have healthcare, police, and fire. We're going to need schools and basically education as well. So let's take a look at garbage to begin with on this island. It's going to have to be adequate enough for this island. So I think we're going to go for a recycling centre. So if I placed you just here, it does eat into that hill. That's where we then have to slightly push this back with all of you. We have to anarchy it as well, by the way. So push it back a little bit further in. But then we can then fine-tune to make it stick out a bit further. So what we lose, we kind of technically then gain back. And then bring that a bit further down. Like that. And then just smoothen this chunkiness out. So level the terrain, push it out a bit. Smoothie, smoothie. It's not so harsh then, is it? Now, I don't know whether that one building on its own is going to be enough for this island. I'm not too sure. I'll probably eventually make that kind of snap to it once we decide whether we're building an extension to the building itself. Some high-rise buildings now coming in. So this is bringing 2 people on. We'll have to wait a while until it starts bringing all the people in. We've done garbage. We're going to need to take care of death. So for us, we've got 2 variations of what we can implement. Either a cemetery, which is probably a really good idea, or a crematorium, which is a smaller idea. The crematorium is probably the better option for us with its size. So I might implement that. The cemetery is too big to go here, right? Yeah. I might implement the crematorium just here. That should do us just fine with that. Should do us just fine. I'm going to have this now snap to the edge of the building because it is kind of annoying me, I'm not going to lie. Right, there we go. And we'll just go to there with it for now. That's a bit better. It's a bit better. It's going to cover the whole island anyway. It's definitely a bit better. Right, okay, so. Got the death care. We need a little bit of education now. So, education-wise, we'll go for like a city style in this vicinity. Which I'm going to put here, where it's kind of like on the corner for the elementary. So, drop you in just... Actually, where would the high school, the city high school, if the city high school was going to go here, the city elementary would go there. Right. Some people give it the thumbs down. They don't like education. We're going to add what we can to it to max it out. There we go. And then we can build a little bit of a perimeter road going around the edge. Which they're not going to like it with that house, unfortunately. So there's a little perimeter going around the edge there for a little bit of educational facilities. We will build more stuff around it. It won't just be such a straight line. It will be an evolution as we kind of continue, which will be great. So that takes care of a bit of that, which should bring more people in. Now, the reason why they're complaining so much, or they was complaining so much about not enough employees, I think because my unemployment is super low. So we're getting to the point right now, we're not that far off by having too many jobs and not enough citizens. That's what we're going to eventually start seeing at some point. So this allows it to build up a bit more. Now, I'm saving this space over here for some dirty industrial stuff. And the wind should all blow away. So nothing over here is going to blow any pollution this way. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It shouldn't do it. So allow that to do what it's got to do. The next cruise ship on the way is holding 9 people. But we are playing the big waiting game before we start seeing the mass amounts of citizens making their way over. So while they do what they've got to do then... do we need to bring public transport over to this area? We have the public transport all around here, but nothing's really going on down in this vicinity. Now, we could create a bus route, but eventually we are going to have the subway system making its way down here. We have a stop there, which will have a stop here, probably a stop there, and then turn it to kind of come down and in. Now, do I place the subway stop in now and just have it bend round as a placeholder? That could be a good idea. Then from the subway stop and the transition hub, I build a bus station, which will also have a little bus loop to take people to the park area as well. That's where I can see it all slowly coming together. So, I don't think... Oh, I don't know what to do with this now. So, let's go for the subway stop, and let's do an underground subway station, which would work pretty much like this, unless I pull it a little bit further around the bend. No, we'll pull it just there. We'll pull it just there, okay? Subway stop has been implemented. But it would be nice to implement some buses to a certain extent, so a small bus station is also the way to go. So if I implemented, and if I move this, so let me now just quickly move this, just over there for a second. We implement our small bus station, let's say just here. Right? And delete you. Oh, delete you or kind of readjust you. Because I could have a... Right, if I have a positional road, just go there. Alright, get rid of anarchy at the same time. Right, I'm going to have this go here. Oh no, this is messing me up. I'm kind of being slightly messed up here a little bit, aren't I, with how I'm kind of trying to position all of this. So if I have this road come back out, okay, and that is how the road's going to be. If I could make this attach itself to that road, thus having the metro stop be connected just there, which actually if I move it over by one more, we then create a transitional area here. So if I add first the upgrades to all of this, service station, that's an extension on the building itself, which I'll place there. Right, so just give me a moment. It's starting to snow again as well. We create a walkable area first and foremost here, which connects both of these up so they can walk from there onto this path to walk onto there. And then we bring... I could either bring that down or now build a perimeter road. Those are my options. So I could come off this with a road leading up to there to connect to you to connect in, which gives me two little spots there for a little bit more commercial. So we could throw in some low density commercial in reality here. And a little bit just there. If it chooses to build, though, that's a different story. Now, I'll move this with the move it tool slightly over. Right, it is going downhill. So I might just slightly also bring it up. Bring you up. Just raise that ever so slightly. I don't think you can get any zoning on that. I don't think you can get any zoning on any of this, to be honest with you. So why don't I squeeze some form of a park in? So something that will fill the little nooks and crannies up here. That will. That's real nice. And something quite large to go in this chunky boy. There we go. And then we'll lift this corner slightly up. Lift the park up as well. That will do. So it creates a little area there now, which becomes the main, because this is going to all be low density on this, because this is now considered an island, weirdly, doesn't it? So this will all be low density as it transitions into a higher density area here as it transitions over to the industrial. So for now, just for now, we'll get our subway line, tracks which are underground here, and then we'll bring this across. So it's going to appear, because of the way the land there is terrain. So if I drop this, if I built like that, can you see it? No. Okay, you can't see it. So bring in this. Can we do this on a bend? Now this is just a placeholder bit of a track right now, okay? It's completely a placeholder until I can get the rest of the line all in. And that's not liking that connection. So we might need to kind of bend it a little bit. Let me find where I can make the crossing. Right, I think that is all good. All right, bring that to there. And then see where we can transition this in. Does that go down low enough? Or... does this work? Right, it's not perfect, but it just does what it needs to do for now to get here. Eventually, it will have 2 more stops around here that it will kind of go down, stop there, a stop here as it transitions to go that way. That's what will eventually get set up. But just for the purpose of having it run here for now, that's what we've had to do. So, where it does stop there on this line, it now technically stops here. Oh, I didn't drag the right one, did I? Oh, there we go. It helps if you drag the right one, so I cannot create a new line. So it grabs to there, and then what we then need to do is have a stop on this to there. And that to there. So that no longer becomes an end route, it becomes just another station in the line. So that red line goes all the way up from here, all the way down. So it becomes our main spinal route, all the way down to there. It will eventually have 2 more stops here as well, with this big built-up area. So all of a sudden, this area there becomes much more of a reason for people to travel to. They're able to get here a lot easier. And if I create a small little bus route around here just to kind of, you know, transition people to these leisurely areas, not a bad idea, right? So bus is, and what is this? Oh, it's a small taxi depot. Bus line. Oh, hang on. We got to do all the bus shelter stuff, don't we? So we'll have one here. Bam. And then I can anarchy them in, right? Yeah, we'll have one there. And then we're leading up this way. So now it's got to be normal bus stops on this style of road. One there. I'll also do one just here. So it's all at the focal points of where people can access the area. And then we'll do one just there. I'll do one just here. Now leading down, we'll bring it down this route. So we'll do one just there. One just here. I know it's quite close to that, but it just picks everybody up. And then brings them back to where they need to get to. So there, to there, here. So it's just a small little loop. It's mainly utilized to get people to and from the leisurely activities that we have set up. So this line here, view the details. It wants to put 5 buses on. We probably need 2 at max. And the minimum is 2 is the minimum I can do. I can't do any less than that. I probably would have selected 1 to begin with, but that should do us just well. All of a sudden, we've got public transport within this vicinity. So it should work out pretty well for us. Right, we'll give that some time to tick along. Now, in the grand scheme of things, how are we now doing over here? This is now all built up, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what's going on with all of this. If I'm being completely honest with you. Is it low rent housing? There we go. I think because I kind of messed some areas up here slightly. Right, let's get out of underground mode. Right, delete those there just to kind of have them build back up in a better format. And we can't really squeeze anything there by the looks of it. So we got these little beachfront houses as well. These got perfect views of the big ships coming in. Like, big noises that they make. Right. You're taking 8 people back. There is 3 people currently waiting. And this cruise ship over here has 686 people on board. There's no way that this... It is. 600 people? Here already? Oh, okay. It does have nearly 3,000 employees. 3,000 residents. So that's 6,000. If they're different people, that's 6,000 people. Okay, that's wild. I forget how many people can live in these buildings. Where are they? Up to 77. You kind of do forget the capacity of those little buildings. But I've gone for some low rent housing as well. Because I don't expect this to be the richest of areas, if I'm being completely honest with you. And yeah, so is it time we build this out a little bit? So 120. We'll do the obligatory 224, sorry. So we'll start with this, and this is where I'm going to put some bus stops. So, what do you guys reckon? Should I implement a small subway line on this, or do you reckon that's just completely overkill? I feel like it might be completely overkill. Buses should be just fine. I don't think I'm going to get it connected in a subway up to the main island. Because that will take away from my boats. And I like the idea of the boats being able to transport people over here. So if we just stick it to buses. Actually, first we'll do taxis. 8 vehicles. This does 25 vehicles. Right. So we can build a little taxi depot there. This is a nice small one. But I feel like we might need a fair few taxis on this island. So why don't we build the depot just over here for the taxis? Oh, well, we will eventually need a bus one. So I'm going to build a bus depot here. So the bus depot is a lot bigger. So I'll build a taxi depot just here. And then the bus depot right next door to it. There we go. Now we'll extend onto them eventually, but they're just there for now. We need to do the upgrades to it. So we need the dispatch center so people don't have to stand at dedicated taxi stands. And yeah, that will be all for now. This should have the transit terminal so taxis can make their way in. So that can become a waiting hub in general anyway for this area. But people can call taxis wherever they are right now. So just for now, this little island has taxis as their main form of public transportation. And taxis are already now leaving the building. So they will then use them. Right, this is this ship with 680-something people on board right now. I want to see this actually get here. And I want to see these fools actually get off. There's actually a few people already here right now. So we must have missed a ship already. We must have already missed the first cruise ship to bring the bulk of people over here. So a lot of workers will be travelling back and forth on these. Probably the slower way to do it. But just waiting for them to all now get off. There we go. They're now walking out. So I wonder how many of them actually go and wait for a taxi. Versus just walk out of this area naturally. Taxis are arriving right now. Oh, they're coming out of all areas, boys. They're coming out of all areas right now. So, building the buildings as we've done it, My unemployment is slightly increased, so they are filling all the positions, which is great. Very good. And the taxes, like I said, the taxes are now out in full force, right? Now, we will initially will be quite busy on taxis, as fundamentally the bulk of people do move in to begin with first. So it will be initially quite busy. But it's nice now to see a little bit of life on the island. For a lot of people, their buildings that they need to go to is within walking distance. So that's okay for them. Right. Is the buses now going around here? We are seeing more people hang around this spot. There's people waiting for the subway line. There's people waiting for the buses. And we should start seeing people eventually hanging out in the park. No one just yet. Oh my goodness me, there's like a burning bin there. Is that a homeless tent? I've never really looked at these, like, properly. I think that's a homeless tent there, isn't it? That's a dog park. Bring your doges, guys. Bring your doges. So here's a bus now. Oh, it's got 20 passengers on board. That's impressive. So dropping 20 people off. Boarding 9. It's worked out fairly well. I'm already quite impressed. Already quite impressed. Right, how's the dam doing these days? It is 21 megawatts at this moment in time. That's really good to see. Really good to see. Right. Second cruise ship now on the way with fringe people on board. So I feel like we've done the bulk of the people already. And now it's just still kind of coming in there, drips and drabs. But yeah. And how busy are these schools? High school. 2 students. Elementary. 2,000? Yikes. I have a feeling they might be coming from the main island, though, at the same time. Is my elementary schools needing a little bit more of a boost? The answer is yes. I still feel like, right, remember when the game first came out and everyone had that big issue with not having enough schools, so they implemented these schools, and I still feel like we still do not have enough schools. So we need a school in this area. That's a given. That's a given right now, so I'll throw you in here. And of course, we add the bulk to it. So that will instantly get filled up. We need a school within this area, so what's that there? That is a car park. Delete you. And then drop in. If it will squeeze in just nicely, it will. A nice little elementary school. So that's an extra 4,000 students on this main part of the island here. We've got a bunch dotted around here and there. I still feel like we need another one within this area. Actually, how filled up did them two just become? Pretty wow. So let me just drop one in this area and see how quickly this one gets filled up. So let's say I squeezed it just here on the roundabout. Because it's near public transport. Add the extensions on. And then we'll just see how quickly that one gets filled up, and we'll come back in just a moment. So as of right now, we are still under capacity. Even with adding in 6,000 more schools, 8,000 more if you include this one, elementary capacity. So yes, we'll see what happens there. That's 848, 900. This one's on 2,000. That's on 1,000 there. So definitely another one in this area. And what's that there? That is some tennis courts. I'm going to throw it just on the corner here. So that should now give us just enough capacity. That's filling up fast. This one here should eventually be filling up slowly. But we should then just have enough capacity is what we should have. So we should be okay on that front then. Right, so with more people using all of this, there's now 16 passengers there waiting. There's 34 passengers here now waiting. Where's the buses? So there's a bus. 20 people on board. Where's the second bus? The second bus is now on the way back just there. With 5 people on board as well. So that should pick up quite a few people on the way back now. So this area's kind of benefited quite a bit. It's a nice area. I would rather live here than anywhere else, I think. It's got the little, it's got a nice little waterfall, a little nature nearby. Yeah, it does have all the smog coming over, which is not great, but hey ho. Wow, the sorting speed here is maxed out. There's nothing you can do about this sorting speed as well. That's how it is. And that is how it is. So it's going through a lot of mail right now. A lot of mail. We've got the storage anyway. So if the storage is filled up, then you'll be panicking. It will eventually get through the backlog. It's Christmas, in the game right now. It's November. Everyone's sending their Christmas cards to Santa. So that's why the mail's busy, guys. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Right, is this now maxed out? That's now maxed out. And is this one maxed out? That's on the way to being. That should be maxed out. That should be maxed out. So more lower education facilities now provided. Right. So another ship has just dropped off a load of people, from what we can see. Very busy. Taxis are scrambling for fares right now. They've never had it so good, boys, these taxi drivers. Unlimited passengers. Unlimited passengers right now. There is a queue for taxis to get in. Oh, there we go. A queue for taxis to get in at the taxi rank. It's weird how they're calling taxis there, though, when we do have a dedicated taxi rank. But, when you take a look at our taxi, these are our taxi services. Transportation, you have fees. I'm not sure if there's a way in which you can kind of... Oh, no. How do you view how much money you're making via taxis? That's to do with traffic. Which is the public transportation icon. Am I blind? It's here. Oh my god, I'm so blind. Taxis, 7,000 citizens a month are using taxis. That's wild, isn't it? I mean, there's 32,000 people using the subway, which the bus system is not that far behind, which makes me then wonder, if so many people are using the bus network, surely we need some more buses on some of these lines. Right, there is this blue line here is very busy. So where's that bus? There. Now, it's not the only bus that kind of comes here, but I reckon this line... Oh, it can't have any more buses even if I wanted it to. You can change the model of the bus, but it's only electric. But that's a given. It's a lot of people, but it's only a short walk anyway to the subway line. But because of that, we've now kind of set it all up. A lot of people can just walk naturally from the harbour into town. So it's not the end of the world for them. They can still do what they need to do. So yeah, I don't think it's much of an issue. I don't think it's too much of an issue. I know we have a lot of business over on this section because this is a drop-off and pick-up point for the crematorium. So that's always naturally going to be busy. But yeah. Right. Cruise ship's gone. Another cruise ship on the way with 500 people. They're bringing vast amounts of people over here right now, which we are going to be earning quite the amount of fees. Right, how do I view transportation as revenue? So I see it here as fees, but are we able to break it down in terms of what we're actually making? So services, public transportation, ship passengers, we see it's increased dramatically in the last 1 month. Bus passengers has increased. No trams. Subway, as you could argue, they've all slightly increased because they're all taking the passengers to the harbours. Taxis have increased. That's definitely increased because obviously the natural way that this island here has worked. So yeah. Now, does this island have internet? It doesn't have any post. It doesn't really have much internet facilities. So we'll give them a big telecom tower. On the bend, maybe? We'll do it on the bend just here. As it's up on the hill. So that gives them the great coverage that is required. And of course, we need to give them postal facilities as well. So we'll do a post office, which I could throw that in just here. And then we'll drop a couple of little mailboxes down. Just for now. I'll do one over here and then one over here if needs be. One up here as well for the businesses. La-dee-da. And hopefully this can be able to handle... I mean, we can also select its district that it works in. So hopefully that is able to handle the mail. So that gives us everything that we acquire over. I don't think I'm missing anything. If I'm missing anything, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm not going to build the bus route until I build this area up over here a bit more. And then we can have a nice little back and forth route to what will be considered our industrial areas over at the very end. So unemployment is at 2.4% as more and more people move in. I'll place down a little bit of dirty industry just here. Kind of fill these little nooks and crannies. There we go. Provide some more jobs. It will give us more of a reason for the bus route to make its way all the way over here as well when we eventually do build it. But I'm going to end it here, guys. It's been an interesting one, and I'm excited to see where this is potentially going to head in the future of this island. And it might kind of be an interesting way to kind of foresee in the future how we kind of populate all the other islands around the map. We're going to end it here. Hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, please smash that like button down below. And until next time, I will see you all soon. So goodbye.